Maria Erazo Enterprises. I'm Rachel Bourne. This is Stephanie Custer and Jordan Frank.
Maria Erazo Enterprises is in the very beginning stages of company life. Maria has an insurance company that she owns, and this project was kind of just sitting on the side. She wanted us to kind of get it, off the ground and give her some ideas, because she really does have a passion for helping others, and that is the base of Maria Erazo Enterprises. She has a passion for a lot of things. At first it was hard to narrow our focus. She wanted to help women, she wanted to help Hispanic people, the church. It was really, at first we were overwhelmed. We didn't really know what target to take, but over time we kind of realized that it was a positive, that she, that she wasn't locked in on anything, and we could focus on what we wanted to focus on and what we thought was going to be best for her. So the two main targets that we focused on were women and the church. Maria Erazo Enterprises is an entrepreneurial organization based in Grand Rapids. As you can see, this was off her website. She has a website, a Facebook page, and a Twitter account. All of them were not used as we would, ideally wish that she would use them. So we told her that those are some of the things we would change. The company vision is to publish best-selling inspirational books, work as a personal life coach, and speak to audiences about personal growth and perseverance. When we first met with Maria, she gave us a document that had a lot of things nicely laid out for us, and one of those was the company vision. So she really helped us right after we met with her. She had a lot of things laid out, and it was a good asset to have for this project.
So when we're looking at the different things to consider in the bigger environment, we looked first at the political considerations, and Maria's pretty outgoing about her faith and is very willing to incorporate that into her public speaking engagement. She has a book and those kind of things. But she's also interested in working with like schools and things like that. So we talked a little bit about the separation of church and state, kind of making sure if we're going to go into a public place, such as a school, is mainly where we focus on this, making sure that it's going to be appropriate with the guidelines, with all of those things. Also immigration, she's looking into working a lot with the Hispanic community, but also really wants to branch out and work with all different types of communities. And so just kind of recognizing that that's a very hot button issue, especially right now. And so taking a really strong stand on that, not that she couldn't do it, but it has the potential to be a very polarizing issue. So just kind of knowing that going in. And then also in terms of this area, Grand Rapids has a lot of organizations for women, political ones. Grand Rapids Opportunities for Women in particular works with women who are trying to start their own business. There's just a lot of other organizations that she could kind of look into and hopefully get connected with that have kind of parallel goals. Looking at the economic considerations, one, it's just a tough time right now economically, and businesses are cutting back, schools are cutting back, and so it's harder to sell books, it's harder to get public speaking engagements and all that. So just kind of recognizing that at the start. And then also the impact of season. So for instance, if Maria wants to speak to schools, well, that's going to be a really hard thing to do in the summertime because they're not there. So just kind of knowing that and being able to plan around that. In terms of social considerations, the demographic makeup, like we said, she wants to be able to work with the Hispanic population. In Grand Rapids, there's about 15% who identify as being Hispanic. In terms of religious populations, just over half identify as being religious. And then about 25% identify or are under the age of 18 at the time. And that's another area that she kind of wants to work with. So just knowing that and kind of knowing where your markets are. And then also, like I said, there's a lot of support for female and also Hispanic in this area community. So just being able to plug in with them and get resources that are kind of running together. Technological, Maria's really good at, she's got a Facebook page that she updates quite a bit. She's got a Twitter account. She seems to be very knowledgeable about how to handle all these online things. So just knowing those things and staying up to date on them.
And then she also has many strengths and weaknesses and opportunities. One of her main strengths is that she she is very good at relating to customers' needs. She's already involved in a lot of business, so she's used to having to talk to customers and figure out what their needs are. And overall, in public speaking or mentoring people, that's a need that you have to be able to reach their needs to be able to market to them. Also, she's bilingual and bicultural. She immigrated to the U.S. from Mexico, so she is completely immersed in the Hispanic culture, which helps her be able to relate to Spanish-speaking people, and also she can speak Spanish, which makes her obviously be able to help them. And then also she has lots of business and personal experience. As I said, she immigrated from Mexico. She also has started her own company. She's a mother. She's a Christian. So she has all that experience that can help her relate to other people, possibly mentor women in starting a business, or also mentor them personally. I mean, running a business and raising a family is obviously a lot to do, and she has experience with that, and she can be helpful mentoring people that way, and also just with their faith, since she is a strong Christian. Yep, she also has lots of determination and focus. She's one of the most determined people I have ever met from just speaking with her for a little while. I mean, she had a very rough childhood. She's written a book. She started her own company. I mean, so she has a lot of determination and focus, which will definitely be a strength in her entering this new venture. But she also has some weaknesses. She doesn't have very much experience in this area of business. She does have lots of experience in business in general, but public speaking is a completely different area than insurance or anything like that. She also has a lack of connections right now, which is very vital for being able to get speaking engagements, to market her book to people. But we're working on helping her find connections. Also, she has very high expectations, which if this doesn't take off as quickly as she might hope, that could slow the momentum of the project. And also there's a lack of focus. Maria, as I mentioned, all the things she's involved in, she's very, very busy, and so that could create issues with her focusing on finishing this project. I mean, also she's working on finishing her second book, which could also, she needs to focus on that to help start a company. Opportunities. Currently the Hispanic community is growing a lot in this area, which will help her to, since she is bilingual and bicultural, and a lot of her experiences are with being a Hispanic immigrant, that the growing Hispanic community will help her. And also that's kind of a topic that her book focuses on quite a bit. And then also, she wants to win souls for the Lord. She's very motivated with that, and that's definitely an opportunity for her, since more and more our culture is growing to be more secularized. So with that being her focus and with God on her side, obviously that's an opportunity for her to help others. And threats, she has the threat of deportation and issues with work permits, since she is an immigrant, and also a lot of the people who she has working for her are also immigrants. And also she has a potential for lawsuits, as Steph mentioned, with having a Christian message and going into possibly public organizations or schools and having that Christian message. There's definitely the separation of church and state with laws that she has to worry about. And there's also the possibility of lawsuits, because anytime you're giving advice to someone, if you haven't had them sign a waiver, if your advice goes negatively, that could end up in a lawsuit, sadly, because that's just how our culture is nowadays. But we had the idea of maybe her having them sign a waiver before she does advice or mentoring. There's also obviously the possibility of opposition to her Christian message. A lot of times anything with religion can just turn people off.
So when we started looking at the marketing strategy and kind of how we want to start, we had a little bit of a hard time, like we said, because everything is just so broad and she wants to do so much. So we decided to narrow it in, as Jordan mentioned, on working with women and public speaking. So our first goal was just to design and distribute a flyer that would advertise in public speaking And so we thought she could kind of make these tailored to different areas. So she's going to go to a church and advertise there. She could have a specific flyer for churches that might emphasize more of like the Christian content of her message. Whereas if she's going to go to a school or something like that, she could tailor these a little bit differently. But so for now, we're going to focus on just the flyer geared more towards women. And we were saying about have 15 flyers distributed would be a pretty good start with that. And then reaching out to area organizations. Like we said, there's a lot of organizations in this area. So just researching them, getting involved, seeing where she could kind of get plugged in and where she might be able to provide services to organizations who are looking for things that she does. And then increasing her social media presence. So she's already got a Twitter, she's got a Facebook, and so we really focus our efforts on those, and increasing her Twitter followers, and then also just kind of increasing the traffic on Facebook.
And then her segmentation, this is more focusing on who she should be targeting on geographically. We believe that she should start focusing on Grand Rapids area, obviously, especially since she's so busy and this is just her venture on the side besides of her insurance company. But then when she becomes more well-known, we were thinking she could expand to the whole Midwest or even nationally and expand to other areas. Demographically and also psychographically, she should really be focusing on people who can relate to the experiences that she has. So we are saying that demographically she should be focusing on working women, especially working women with families, or Hispanic women, since those are what her experiences match. Also psychographically, women who are in need of inspiration. Since Maria found the Lord and became a Christian, that's where she has gotten a lot of her inspiration, so she can help other people who need inspiration. Also working in Christian women, just as I had said before. Behaviorally, she should be focused, there's differences with how she should be talking to people. There's women who have read her book and women who haven't read her book. People who have read her book are already familiar with a lot of her experiences, a lot of her views, whereas people who haven't aren't. So this will affect how she talks to them, and also whether women are Christian women or not Christian women. Obviously a Christian woman, she's not going to try to spread the news of Jesus who they already know that, whereas someone who doesn't know anything about the Lord, she'll have a completely different message between those two. Also targeting, generally she should, as I said before, she should be targeting who she can relate to with her experiences, so she's trying to be mentoring public speaking. So we decided that of all of her targets that she gave us a lot of potential targets: youth, Hispanic people, women. We decided it would be easiest to start with focusing on women, mainly Christian women, working women, Hispanic women. Then overall her positioning statements, she's a hardworking Christian Hispanic woman and mother. She has past experience that she hopes that she can use to inspire other people and also bring them closer to the Lord. And overall, she's working and trying to help bring people to the Lord with God's help too.
So in regard to the marketing mix, the first P is price. For Maria, it's tough to determine the price of a product because she's just in the beginning stages. We don't have any projected numbers, and we didn't even really want to go that route because of the youth of the company. We wanted to just focus on getting it off the ground and growing her reputation. The only thing that we determined price-wise was just to start low, and if she's going to partner with maybe a Christian bookstore, sell her book at a discount, just kind of get the word out until there is a market for what she has. The products that she offers are her book that she wrote, In Search of My Father, which is basically her story about her struggles growing up in Mexico and her immigration and the success that she's had since coming to America. And motivational speaking, she really has a passion for helping people. When it comes down to it, that's really what she wants. It's just helping people and building relationships and doing everything she can. Promotion, as Stephanie said, creating a flyer advertisement is essential because of how new the company is. We just wanted to focus on getting the word out. Another way she can promote her company is by calling people and explaining what she has to offer. That kind of ties into contacting and building relationships with other companies and organizations in Grand Rapids. The place, Family Christian Bookstores in West Michigan could be a place that she can go to help promote her book. When we kind of skimmed through her book, it kind of stuck out to us that this is the kind of book that a Family Christian Bookstore would offer. The church is also a great place to begin. That's where, you know, her passion is. She really is set on helping people and, you know, telling them about the love of Jesus Christ, and the church is a great place to go. And the third venue is the women's conferences and expos. That's mainly just for her public speaking engagements. If she wants to speak in public, that's where she has to go to, you know, arrange meetings.
So looking at the controls and timelines, I won't go through all of this, but like we said, doing the flyer, organizing that, contacting organizations, asking, hey, can I put your flyer in there? You know, can I put it on the billboard? Is there anywhere you have for this? And recognizing that that also is a part of marketing, right? So you're meeting with people, you're talking to them, kind of selling who you are and what it is that you're trying to sell. And then also contacting local churches, asking, you know, are there any Bible studies, or do you have any women's retreats or anything like that that I can get involved in, that I can speak at or anything. And so talking to them, and then also talking to other women's organizations and doing kind of the same thing. We said, hey, it'd be really great. Like we said, she's kind of just trying to get her name out there and let people know who she is and what she's trying to do. So just getting involved in organizations. It's great opportunities for networking, being able to, you know, give her business card out and say, this is what I do, this is what I'm trying to do, and get other people kind of passionate about what she's passionate about. Increasing her Facebook likes. Right now she has just over about 200, so trying to increase those to about 300, and then also liking 10 new organizations in the area, like I said, so that she can kind of keep tabs on what they're doing and get involved with them. And then increasing Twitter followers. Right now she has 5 followers, and so just increasing that up to 25 would be helpful.
And then for a contingency plan, we're thinking that if so far it doesn't seem like what she's doing is working to get to women, or also plan to do after, would be to change her target to start focusing more on youth. Overall, she could probably use a lot of the same strategies that we were just talking about with how she could market to women. She could make flyers. She could try and get speaking engagement at schools or also youth groups. Or, I mean, almost every church has a high school youth retreat at some point, but she could try and get a arrangement to be the speaker on one of those. And also what she could do is all youth and college students and everyone of that age likes free things and discounts. So an idea that she could do if she's trying to market to the youth instead is to try to offer more discounts on her book. Maybe if she's having an event at Family Christian Stores, maybe offering free pizza or just some type of cheap free food that she could offer, which will bring in youth.
Yeah, so when it comes to evaluation, Maria can measure her progress by the amount of feedback she receives after distributing her flyers. Beyond that, though, another way she can measure her success will be, you know, actually speaking and spreading her message. And most importantly for Maria, she can monitor her progress by amount of lives she touches in relationships. When we met with her, when we talked about evaluating like her success and progress, you know, she did say, you know, getting relationships and helping people is really what, you know, is going to measure her success. That's really what she's striving for in this venture.
So in conclusion, Maria's got a lot going on. She has a lot of really exciting avenues to explore. There's a lot she wants to work with. We touched on a few of them. She wants to do mentoring. She wants to write like programs in order to help people start businesses and everything. So the goal of our project was just kind of say, all right, these are really great. Let's find a place we can start. And so that's what we did. And so we're hoping that where we've done, we'll kind of give her a good launching board, one, to get her name out there, and two, just to have a strategy, to take it from all these really great ideas to getting on the ground and getting going so we can move forward. Any questions?
One, you talked about youth as your contingency plan. Did you have like an age range, or are you going from like kindergarten to college?
She, I was mainly thinking middle school to college type area. I mean, people who would be able to go and read her book, people who are also in times of change and struggling, where they might be looking for inspiration, especially of the Lord. I mean, those are really the times in your life in that range where you really start questioning that and growing in your faith and stuff. So,
And that's a good question. We asked it of her when we met with her, and her answer was kind of, I'll do it all. I want to do it all. So she was really excited about the elementary age. She was really excited about talking and working with college students. So I think she's willing to give a crack at anything.
yeah.
Anyone else?
What is